Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Deidre Norton. I am a platinum consultant. I am the leader of Team Powerhouse, and I work with all of the teams with inside of Empire. So all of you today are probably a part of one or the other, obviously. Today's training is going to be on Expedia TAAP. It's kind of for beginners, and we're going to walk through a couple of different scenarios. I'm going to just kind of show you how the platform works and some things maybe that you will use in the future. One of those is going to be a service fee option that they have allowed us to add to certain types of bookings, which gives us extra commission. That's always really nice as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've been with the company for going on about 3 years. As I said, I am a platinum consultant, and I do travel booking as well. So we're going to share our screen. And then we're going to go to, let me close this, Expedia TAAP. All right, so what I love about Expedia TAAP's platform is it's really and truly just the travel agent side of Expedia. It's set up the same way, you book the same way, all that good stuff. So it's really easy to use. It's really good for beginners. The first thing I'm going to say about Expedia TAAP is there are not payment options in Expedia TAAP. Most all of our other suppliers that you book with when you create packages or you book hotels, whatever, they do allow payments, which are nice. But Expedia TAAP does not allow that. But some of their hotel options or their property options, they allow you to either pay a property or pay deposit. It just depends. But there's really no type of payment plans. And they do not offer insurance. But you can book hotels, Airbnbs, VRBOs, condos, villas, all sorts of stuff in here. You can book flights, packages, you can do cars, activities, airport transfers, and you also can do groups. So you see package rates, standalone rates, so you can choose. I'll kind of go through a little bit right here. The TAAP menu, it's going to go take you home. This allows you to build an itinerary, allows you to create a quote or see your quotes, reports and incentive plans. We're going to click on incentive plan because let's see what this is. Oh, so this is a great place for you guys to go. This is going to kind of tell you what the percentage is. So we're platinums, all right? So we're going to get the highest percentage, just so you know. Like our agency is #1 selling agency with Expedia TAAP in the entire United States. So you're going to look at the platinum tier. And this is our commission percentage on everything. So you see how it kind of varies. Where some of our other suppliers are straightforward. Like if you Vacation Express is 16, 17%, sometimes bonus commissions, etc. But this is Expedia's. They have raised it and it's phenomenal. So I'm super excited about that. We do get 80% of our commissions with them. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what's there. The itinerary builder, I'm just going to kind of go through this a little bit with you. It's going to be itineraries that I've built, which there are none there. And then there's support here as well. One thing I want to make everyone aware of, if you call into Expedia and have the agent help you with the booking, you do not get paid commissions. Super frustrating, I know, but Expedia's platform is so straightforward and so easy to use that is why they do that. So you do have a support option. You can see your trips here. This is just my information, etc. If you scroll on down, so this is a webinar they're doing on Radisson Hotels. You can always find webinars, some sales that they have going on. You can earn rewards. So if you have not, if when you get registered, or if you're not registered, I want you to go ahead and enroll in the rewards program, because I've just cashed my stuff out. But I just got this was one of them. I got $120 for booking. I got an Amazon card, which is really cool. And before that, I've gotten like a $500 Amazon card. So when you book, your points rack up and they're going to give you $1 for every point. So it's really cool. This is where you can manage quotes if you have them. You can manage your trips. I don't think I have any right now. I actually have. So these are past ones that I did. Get back to the beginning. Let's see if there's anything else. Create travel documents. Let's just click right here for a minute. So this is your itineraries. I don't really build itineraries because I use a CRM platform called TravelJoy that I do all of my itineraries, quotes, etc. in. And then there's just some more training. You can do the TAAP Academy, which will be very, very good for you guys. Any beginners, this platform is going to be nice. So now let's just see if we want to maybe book a hotel. Okay, because I'm going to show you guys how we can add service fees. So where does anybody want to go today? No, Christy, to answer your question, she asked me, could a client still get Expedia points if booking with us using the Expedia TAAP? No, but I think there is a, you know what? I'm not going to say no on that. I'm going to write that question down and I'm going to find out on that. Nobody's ever asked that and I've never thought about it. And never even had a client ask me that. So I'm going to jot this question down and I'm going to try to find out. Can you tell me whose team you're on, Christy, or who your mentor is so I know how to get in touch with you? Chiquita, all right, your team, Sky. Okay, I'm going to find that out and I will find you on Facebook Messenger. Let me write this down. Is this your name on Facebook Messenger? Perfect. Okay. So I'll find out for you. That is a very good question. So let's just go. Let's say we're going to go to New York. That's easy. We're going to choose our dates. We're going to go to New York in December. It'll be absolutely gorgeous. 13th through the 16th. Right? We got one room. So here you can add additional rooms. I think you can add up to 6 rooms on here. Let's just see how many we can add so I don't give you guys wrong information. Well, you can keep adding, it looks like. So 8 rooms is the most you can add. Now I got to close this out. Kind of doing more than I normally do today just because it's a few of us on here. All right, so we have 1 room, 2 travelers. And then all you're going to do is click search, just like you would if you're in Expedia. All right, so you also can search by property if you know a certain hotel that you want. So you could put this in and it would just pull that hotel right up. You have filters that you can use. So you see where it says pay at property. So if you wanted to search, if a client didn't have the, didn't want to be able to, if they could not pay now, you could pick just pay property. All right. That means they're going to pay at the property. It means you're going to reserve it with just a credit card and then they're going to be charged and pay when they check in. So let's just do that. I kind of show you what it looks like. So all of these that you see right here are pay at property. You have lots of them. So let's just come up here. I'm going to click on this one. So I'll have photos, which is nice. And then they're going to come down. Then you can pick your room. So you see where it says pay at property? So that's basically what that means. So you could pick your room and then right here you can click and you see that you're going to get your $11.08. Okay, let's see. $92.94 on this booking. So that would be your commission. Now pay at property. So I want to show you what happens when we click reserve. See where it says pay now, 0? That's it. So they would pay. So people that need to make payments or save some money, it's not really making payments, but they could reserve this and then they can pay when they check in. I always check this right here too. See where it says details? So the client's going to be asked when they check in. So I always tell my clients to travel with a credit card, no matter what, under no circumstances. And they're going to have to pay a deposit of $100 that'll be refundable. And they'll get that back. So I always include that. So this one, anything that's pay at property is going to be ineligible for that service charge. So you see it shows your commission at 8.5% because it was a basic property. So there's basic, premium, premium plus, whatever, and it goes up. That's the higher the percentage. So $94 on a 3-day hotel booking, I'm good with that. Like if this worked out for them. Then all you do is you enter all this information. Now, when I do this right here, traveler's email, here's what I do. I put my own, because I want the confirmation to come to me, because you're going to build an itinerary and send that to them with all of their information in it before they travel. So you're going to give them all the information they need. You don't want them to really have any access or to kind of know where you book that. It's not like you're being secretive, not like you're trying to hide anything, but you don't want to send a quote to someone, whatever. And like if you're preparing a quote and you send it straight from Expedia TAAP, I don't like to do that because they may see it and then start searching. And what if they go book it on their own? So I don't really give anybody any supplier information on where I'm booking. I just say my wholesale platforms, unless they specifically ask, and then I don't hold back any information at all. So for this, I still enter my information because they'll send you the confirmation on the booking and then you can forward it to them and you can edit. All right. So then you're just going to enter their card. You're going to let them know they're not going to be charged anything. It's just to book the room. It is fully refundable before December 12th. So I always let my clients know that. And that's how you're going to reserve that booking, okay? So pretty simple. So now we're going to remove this. Now you have other ones. So you see where it says basic, basic plus, premium, premium plus. So that's the higher the percentage. And you'll see some of these. I mean, like you see this premium right here. If you were to click here, it's going to pay you 11% instead of that 8.5%. So you can filter by places, reserve now, pay later. That's an option. Hotels, airport shuttles included. So if your clients wanted transportation, you didn't want to book it separately. So there's a lot of filters you can use. By ratings, you can pick here, all these different little filters. So it's very easy, very simple. I mean, you can see all the options you have. I don't really filter too much unless my client has given me some specifics. So let's look at this one right here. Hyatt Grand Central, New York. It's a good rating. I always do my research too, guys, on my ratings, okay? Kind of gives you the vicinity. So this would be a fantastic location. They could walk to pretty much everything. And then you'll see your beds. So you're going to come pick your room. So this is pay Expedia. So it's going to be pay now. So if we were to choose this room, $161 on this one. So you see how it's bumped up? This one's not going to let us do a quote either. I wanted to show you how to do a quote. We'll go back and do another one. A lot of times you'll be able to generate quote. I just missed it. So let's just go with this room. No extras. Breakfast is not available. You can do non-refundable, which means if you book this for them, you let them know that it is non-refundable. Here you can see all your information. You can get that. Or you could add $69 to it and they would have the option to be able to cancel. I'm going to be honest, I don't give this option about cancellation. I just say this is a non-refundable rate or there is a refundable rate if they want to take it if you cancel by December 11th. But you don't want to give someone the option of thinking in the back of their head, oh, I have up until this amount of time to cancel. You know what I mean? So just kind of, Christy got kicked out of here. Prevail, if you book all the rooms in one name, can you change the name at the hotel? No. I take that back. Yes, because you would be able to add the clients and the travel, all the travelers' information. So let's say you had 3 rooms. I'll have to go back and look at that. I don't want to get sidetracked. Sorry. Tina, you said these rates are different than what clients would see for the same hotel on the regular site. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. They may see the exact same prices. It's going to vary. And it's not about being able to save, it's about being able to service your client and give them a service that they can't get if they booked on their own. If they book directly with Expedia themselves, guess what's going to happen? If they have problems, they'll spend hours on the phone trying to get a problem solved. They book with you, and if they book with you, then you're going to be the liaison. I'm sorry. If there's problems, sorry guys. Tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to move in my office. All right, everyone, for those of you watching this recording, this is the pleasures and downsides of working from home. My dog started barking, so I needed to move in my office. But that's the great thing about what we do. We can work remote, we can work anywhere. So I do apologize for the delay. So you don't really want your client to know where you're booking anyway. So they can't really go and compare. But if they go and say, hey, I found this on Expedia for a less price, that's just kind of a way that you can explain it. Um, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you, if you wanted to generate a quote to be able to go back to this later, you just click on generate a quote. Now here, this is the part that I love, because you can come in here and you can edit this. So you could do your own information. Just putting a fake address in here because it's being recorded. Sometimes you can put your phone number, you do your email, okay? And then look at how nice this is. You can add your logo. So I'm gonna hop in here and I'm gonna grab my logo. Look, see how nice that is? So it's gonna look very presentable. So we have the name of the hotel, which is gonna be, do a lot of copying and pasting, which is super nice. We're gonna take all this out of here. So this is if you're doing a quote, you can do it, and we're gonna put Jane Doe. All right, so we have 1 room, 3 nights. Your total amount is 1608, gives you your tax. Now look what you can do. This is what I wanted to show you. So if you wanted to add extra commission or a fixed amount, let's say you have a client that has made you search and search and search and search. You spend a lot of time and you're like, you know what? I got to make a little extra money on this. Maybe you want to add $50. Apply. So you're adding an extra 3%. And then it's going to up your commission. Okay. We're not going to see our commission on a quote because it already showed it to us. So here, if you wanted to view the details, but we're not doing that. And then you could say, you could add a custom message, but I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when you were to email it to your client. Oh, it's going to make me put a, Make me add all that in here. Now let's preview what it's going to look like when you were to email it to your client and they open it. This is what it's going to look like. Has my information, has nothing to do with Expedia, and you send them a quote. How pretty cool is that? And then you can save this as a PDF on your computer so you could go in and send it to them later. That is one feature I love about Expedia. All right, let's close this. All right, so if we were ready to reserve it, ready to book, or you're just trying to get some general pricing, again, it's going to show you all the information. And then you see where it shows there is going to be a resort fee that's going to be paid at the property. So always make sure that, see where it says pay at property when you're preparing a quote or estimate, the total amount is this, and you're going to their deposit that's going to be due to book is this, but you let them know the remaining amount will be due at the hotel. It's for hotel taxes. Okay. So remember right here when I said I'm going to add that extra $50. You see, my total earnings is 161, but I'm about to add my $50 service fee. It's going to bring it up to 211.83. So this is where you can add service fees. When I add service fees, I still go in like the irregular Expedia to make sure that I'm not outpricing myself, but that's really personal preference. And the more you book, the easier it will get. So then we're ready to book. Simple. If you were want to save that quote, you just do this. There it goes. So you can redo all this if you wanted, and then you just come down here to the bottom and you're just going to hit, we're going to name it, because I'll show you where to go find your quotes when you create them to go back and look at it. Like if you want to do a bunch of quotes, or you can save them as PDFs on your computer. I save them in here because they're easy to go back to. Oh, hotel. Just going to name it that, and then I'm just going to do Deidre. See, if you wanted to add that fee in there, you could for the quote. And then I'm just going to save it. So now I want to go back and show you can view them here. But if you wanted to go back, you come here, click on quotes. And then there's that quote that I did. So you could open it. You've got your approval from your client. You're ready to go. Just going to come down here and view details of the book. Always remember when you send quotes, make it note, put a notation somewhere, add it in your quote, add it in your invoice that prices and availability are subject to change until booking is secured. That lets them know, hey, you took a day or two to get back to me and I went back in and now the price has changed. So they can't say, well, you gave me one price and now it's another. I always add that to every single quote that I do, no matter what. Okay, it's super important.
Is that where you put it under the notes section, Deidre?
I'm sorry, what?
The subject to change, is that where you put that little notes at the very end when you're showing us at the bottom?
You could, if you're going to use that quote feature. I don't use it in here because like I said, I have my own CRM platform that I use that I do quotes in. So it's already pre-built. But yes, that's a very good point. That's where you would want to put that. So we'll come back right here and go back to that quote. And if we were going to send this to the client, then yes, you would change all this out. And then in the notes section down at the bottom, you would definitely add that. Thank you for allowing me to handle your travel, your travel details. Please note, prices and availability are subject to change until secured with a booking. Secured with a deposit or a payment. So yes, that's a great place to put that if you're going to use this feature. I've got 900 windows open. So now let's go back to the main menu. Say if we're going to search, we're going to do a package. For flights only, keep in mind, you typically do not make commission on flights only. The government controls that. They don't allow airlines to pay commission to travel agents anymore. But we do have ways that you can earn commission on your flights. So get with your mentor or your team or whoever and ask them, could they please provide you with the ways that you can earn commission on flights only? You can add service fees. You can book it in VAX. You can do Centrav. There's a couple of different places that you can earn commission on flights only. For me, I don't book any flights only at all. If somebody says, hey, can you book a flight for me? I say, yes, I can, but here's the stipulations. I charge $25 up front. I get $25 per person, no matter what, if I book flights only, because it's something that they could go do as well. Here's why I say that. You're not making any money on it if you just book them. For experience, that's great for you newbies. If you want to do it, that's going to gain confidence within your clients, but you let them know, look, I'm doing this as a courtesy, but for the future, I do charge $25 per person. I have clients that tell me I have probably 20 that they pay that 25. I have some that say, I don't care, I'll pay 100. I just don't want to mess with it because they just trust me doing their flights and I know kind of what they want, their preferences. But you don't want to work for nothing, but it is good practice. And I do book an Expedia for flights sometimes. I compare here, then I go directly to the airline sites. But we do have ways for you to earn commission on flights was my point. So let's do a package. We're going to leave Atlanta and we're going to go to Cancun, favorite place. And we're going to go October 4th through the 11th. We have one room, 2 travelers. I'm going to leave it as economy and we're going to hit search. So this is if you were doing a package. Now, packages, you're not going to be able to add those service fees. So that's a downside. But packages pay pretty good anyways. All right. So again, you got pay a property option. You got pay Expedia. For an all-inclusive package like this that I normally book, I would not book it in Expedia unless it was last minute and it was a heck of a deal. I normally use VAX or Vacation Express for all my Caribbean destinations. And I do trainings on those as well. So you can filter out. So Temptation Only is a party, crazy resort. So somebody that's wanting crazy stuff, then you could choose that. But be careful. This is not a resort I would choose for my little couple that wants to go to Cancun for a couple's getaway. They're not going to want to take part in this. I promise you. Look it up if you don't know anything about it. But it's a really cool resort. I have been there, not to participate in the activities, but just to go see what it's all about. And it is an amazing vibe. It is party 24/7. It's pretty cool. So this is fully refundable. All of these are going to be fully refundable. Another reason why I don't really choose to book in here, because you don't want to give that option. So let me go look for another. Here's one. I am actually going here September 27th and staying for 3 nights for free because I book a lot of reU. So we're going to choose this one. So it tells you $13.28 per traveler. We're going to click on it. Again, you have all of your photos. This is a really neat resort. I'm excited. I've been here before. And you have all the different suite options. If you kind of want to know, like when you get into a property and you're trying to be like, what room is what, you know what you can do? Show you how quick. Copy. And come in here and go directly to the website. Then you can read about on the website, like what all of the different room categories and options are. It will tell you. And that's always a nice thing to be able to do. Like, we're staying, let me get rid of this. In this right here, the sweet jacuzzi with a view is where we're staying. But that's what you can do, is research it. So let's just pick, and I do not know what you means. So I'm so sorry. I don't know what that means. So you can see it, the more you go up, the more expensive the rooms get. So this is a 2-bedroom. This is what I'm staying in right here when I go. It's a 2-bedroom because I had points, and it's going to give you your airport transfers in here, which is kind of cool, but most all your packages will. So let's select this. And here's where you come in to do your flights. If your clients have a preference, you can. I stay clear of Spirit and I stay clear of Frontier unless my clients ask me for it. You do not want nightmares. I'm a Delta kind of girl, so I'm going to choose my Delta flights. But if you wanted to filter through to see what was available, if somebody was on a budget, let me tell you about Spirit and Frontier. Their flights are always cheaper, but they're going to charge you and nickel and dime you to death. Southwest, they're okay. But I'm going to go Delta. And I want nonstop. So you see how it's going to add. So I don't want an evening flight, and I'm willing to bump this up. And I would not book my clients on an evening flight. I would go ahead and just bump them up and add this in the price. So we're just going to pick this 821 flight right here. And then it gives you all your options right here. See what it's Delta Main Basic. You cannot pick your seat, so it means it's going to be assigned. So ask your clients, do they want to be able to choose their seats or do they care? Gives you a carry-on personal item. You got to pay for that first check's back. It's non-refundable. No changes are allowed. This one, if you bump up, it's going to allow you to pick a seat. This is what I would give my clients. I would just quote them this. They're still going to pay to check a bag. Delta does that. It is non-refundable, but changes, you can make changes and only pay the fare difference. And you can continue to go up and up and up and up, right? So this one is refundable. So we're going to choose this flight, and then it's going to ask us to choose our returning flight. Again, I'm going to filter. And my returning flight, I'm going to choose 11 o'clock. You know what? If I was going to save my client a bit going for an entire week, they're probably going to be ready to get home. They would have to get to the airport early. This is one thing I ask my clients too, guys, whenever I qualify them, is when there's flights involved. I always ask them, are you an early bird? Do you have any objection if I can find you a cheaper fare flying out super early, meaning like an 8 o'clock flight or a 6 o'clock flight, 7 o'clock flight? Because they got to be there 2 hours early. So you got to ask that. Like we always fly the earliest flight because we're ready to go and get on vacation. I'm an early bird, right? So I think we're taking like a 7:59 flight. So we got to be at the airport at 5:59. So we got to get up. I'm about 45 minutes from the airport. Got to get up early. So always ask that when you qualify your clients because sometimes you can save them money. You see how it goes up. This is where Expedia gets you to doing packages. So I'm just going to pick this 8 o'clock flight. I'm going to stick with the main one I already chose. I'm going to select it, and then it's going to have my flights picked. All inclusive, 7 nights. We have 5 left. Here you have all your flight details. So you want to verify that. If you want to change it, you can. Change the type of fare. Same thing down here. And then, so you see right here, you save them almost $6,000. So regular price, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know how true all this is. I book the reuse all the time, and I've never booked it at this right here. But that is that suite, so that might be the reason. But you are saving right here, so that's a heck of a good deal. So you're saving $6,000, but you can let your client know that, hey, I saved you $6,200 on this because we booked it one of my wholesalers, and it was a flight and hotel package, and you got your transfers included, right? So you ain't got to worry about that. So then it's going to be due $29.57, so they're going to have to pay that at the property. So make sure you tell them that. You can click on it, and then we're ready to go final details. And then you book it. So you can't save these as quotes when you've got air. They don't allow you to make a quote. Only on like hotels only, things like that. You can do that, okay? And then the commission on this package, $335.33. Now, let me tell you why I would not book a package in Expedia unless I absolutely had to. because you're going to book the same thing in Vax or Vacation Express, and your commission is going to be up around $600-700 on a booking like this because they pay more. Any questions?
So when is the best time to really use Expedia TAAP?
If you were booking just a hotel only or booking a couple of different hotels, if you were putting a custom itinerary together, like I'm about to do a trip for one of my clients that repeats every year, and he's a single traveler. He's a guy and he loves Halloween, so he always goes to Salem up in Boston, and he's going to go to Sleepy Hollow this year. So he's going to stay at a couple of different places. So I'm putting together a customized itinerary. I've got to do some transportations. So that would kind of be hard to book as a complete package. So I'll be booking a lot of things separate. I would check here for my hotel rooms, and then I also would try beds online, and I would do room res. I always compare. But I say use Expedia TAAP when you're new and you don't know the other platforms yet. But I always make Expedia TAAP my last resort. If I go in somewhere and I just can't find, I think something's super overpriced, then I'll come in to here and I'll do it. But there's nothing wrong with Expedia TAAP. I told you guys in the beginning, like I've earned a $500 Amazon gift card. So that tells you how much I book. I do book in here. I just pick and choose, and it's kind of what the situation is at the time. So that's all going to be personal preference. That's kind of a vague answer, but it's the best answer I could give you with transparency. And then you would book flight. When you compare flights, it's a great place to come in and compare. So you could do flights. You can book, like I said, you can book rental cars. You can do activities, but I don't ever book activities. I do Viators. I don't ever really do airport transfers in here. Sometimes I'll price it, and I probably will with my Halloween guy that I'm putting this together for. He's going to be gone like 10 days. I might compare in here. Last year he did 2 different rental car bookings. This year he just wants transportation to where he's going because he's just going to get around the little town where he's going to be at. And that really pretty much covers it. Does anybody want me to do another booking? Do you want me to go through it again? It's pretty simple. Joanna, we already talked about that earlier, I think. Christy asked me that. The pricing at Expedia going to be the same pricing in other platforms. No, that's why you always shop and you always compare. I don't ever go in one platform and do a quote. Like when I specialize in all-inclusive destinations. That's my thing, the Caribbean. I book every single week. I'm booking some kind of all-inclusive package to somewhere. Cancun, somewhere in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, whatever. I'm just huge on that. That's what I love. And I'm kind of known for that. So like I did 2 honeymoon packages this morning. And even though my go-to is Vacation Express, because that's just what I love, I don't care if I have booked the same trip 5 times for somebody else. I still go into Vax and price it, and I check different suppliers that we have access to. So never just quote your client the first thing you see. Do some comparison in different platforms because you want to give them the best deal they can find. I mean, the best deal that you can find for them because you want them to come back to you. You may look at a hotel in Expedia, and let's just do this really quick. Anybody that's ready to hop off, you can, but we'll do it. Let's just do we'll do Orlando. I'm just going to put this in here really quick because I'm going to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Let's just do October 4th through the 7th. So again, it's 3 nights, I think. Yeah. 1 or 2 travelers. We're going to do this. I have to get my pen because I'm going to have to remember. Maybe not. What's wrong? Make this simple. Let's do this. Marriott's Grand Vista. Okay. So let's come in here. I'm just going to pick the first room I see. So our total on this right here is $357.30. Somebody else write down really quick Marriott's Grand Vista. with the dates of October 4th through the 7th in case I forget. And then let's go. I'll do this. We're going to go to incognito window, and then I'm just going to go to. If I do it in my regular browser, it's going to take me to my portal. I'm not going to sign in. So here we go. We're going to do this, and we're going to pick Orlando. And what were my dates? The 4th through the 7th. Search. Just curious. Oh, look, right here. All right, let's see what happens. I picked this first room right here, didn't I? Was that what I picked? Does anybody remember?
I believe so. Yeah, the
Oh, it's
first.
right here. What was it? One king bed with sofa bed. Yep, this is it right here, right? So it's the same identical price. So sometimes you may find, this is something that we don't have. I haven't been in here in so long. So it's the same price. So see if we pick another one, what happens. All right, everybody remember this. Sheraton Vistana Villages. Villa 1 bedroom. $333. Oh, heck. What was the name of that one, y'all?
It's right down there. If you scroll, Sheraton
Right.
Vis.
You're right. Well, of all days, I probably won't find a different price, but sometimes you do and you can, okay? Especially if somebody is booking, trying to use like if they have points and stuff built up. But in my experience, somebody who has got enough points or enough clout that's booked enough with a third-party platform, they're used to booking and they're not going to come to you to book a simple hotel. So you're typically not going to have to worry about that too very much. But I think that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Thank
I have a
you.
question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. If you are booking like a hotel and then you use a different like platform for transfer or excursions, how do you group it all together
You're
under
going to learn all about that whenever you get started with. Is this Joanna?
Tina?
Tina.
It's Tina. Okay.
Mhm.
That was Tina asking me that question
Yes.
about
was-
about
was-
booking different things and putting them together.
Yes, if you're booking on different like vendor suppliers, and how do you kind of do one quote? So you have excursions, how do you group it all together if
Oh,
you
well, that's
are?
when you go in and you create a quote on a quote form, either in Canva or like I said, I use my platform, but you could go and do it in a Google Docs and you would do the hotel and you would list, the property, not the supplier, but where they would be staying, what the price is. And then you would put your activity, and then you could do your car rental if it's a car rental or transportation, and you add it together. You still can kind of create a package, but it's not going to be a package price because you are going to have to book all three of those things separately, but that's the way that you would present that to the client. Is that what you were asking?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. And that's, you just create your own Canva type
Yeah, you
or
can
something
go
like that.
in and create, you can do it in a Google Doc, you could do it in a Word. It's personal preference. Like I said, I use my Travel Joy, so it's super a lot easier because I just do so many quotes. But Google Docs is what I used to do. forever, like before I started using. Let me see if I could find an old quote. This might be an easier way. It's not gonna be in this one. I got so many different ones. I keep everything separate. Because it's the same. So let's go and find. All right, this is one that I put together. So this is an old one, but I did a Vegas, Arizona. It was like a long itinerary for a daughter and her dad. But you see how I just come in here and put different things in here, where it is, what they could do, what the hotels were. Maybe that's not a good one. I'm sorry. See, I don't have many quotes left because I haven't used quotes in so long. But in a Google Doc, you could do this, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, I don't
That
even
was the
have one.
question I had, just kind of how to, get it all together if you're using different suppliers.
Yeah,
And
so you would just Google Docs, the friendliest to me, it's just what you're used to.
okay.
I don't think I have. All right, here's one. So these were hotel options that I did for some people that were going on a cruise. So yeah, I did a lot of copy and pasting. You can insert the pictures, you got the pricing. So this is kind of an example of a quote in this form.
That's really nice. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I do appreciate you being here today, and I'll see you all again very, very soon, okay? So everyone have a good weekend, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.